up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Can't twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you got me ice and fire.
Hey y'all. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. Baby, I hope I did this right. Let me see if they can hear me. I hope they you in there to see if they can hear me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Oh,
Yeah, go
okay.
go all the
All
way
right.
to the bottom so you can make sure. Yeah, you good.
Okay. All right, y'all. It is me. Y'all only getting me tonight with our special guest. The guest that we have tonight is not a content creator. She is one of our wonderful supporters. She is a supporter of a lot of channels out here, and we're going to talk about life after bariatric surgery, the reason we got bariatric surgery, the benefits that we were able to see after the surgery, and a little bit more. So we hope that y'all enjoy the show. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. We will answer the questions. And as always, I'm gonna go through the chat before I bring our guests up real quick. I'm talking fast because y'all know I'm nervous. Hey Deepika, hey Grateful Heart, hey Karika, MR, Latrice said hey from backstage, y'all. Hey Claudia, how you been? Sassy, hi my Griffins. Hey brother Jahad. Uh hey sis Latoya. Hey Tom. Hey Satin Boo. Edward. Hey Auntie Simply. Hey Aunt. And I think I got everybody. Latrice told me to calm down. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Latrice up, y'all. Hey Auntie. And let me unmute her. Hey Latrice.
Hey
Boo,
everybody.
boo. Hey Buff Files, welcome in. How are you, lady?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
That's good. That's good.
So we are going to talk about life after bariatric surgery today. Um, do you want to go and you can start off by telling us what made you decide to get bariatric surgery and which surgery did you have?
Okay. Well, first, my name is Latrice. I am 52 years old. So let me say it for you, CJ. Damn. So yes, I'm 52 years old. At at the age of 27, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Didn't feel no difference. Didn't realize that I was going having those types of experience because at my younger age, I always carried two jobs, so I was always on the go. I didn't know if I was suffering from, shortness of breath or anything like that because, like I said, I had two jobs. I was always on the go.
Okay.
However, when I weighed in, and again, I'm gonna say it for you again, CJ. Damn, I weighed in at 594 pounds, and so I rounded off to 600 pounds. That point is when I decided to have the surgery. I was looking at it, I was like, I need to do something, do just for the simple fact of the congestive heart failure. However, I was told I wanted to have my child, my own biological child. So
Mm-hmm.
I was told that by 8 different doctors that I would never have a child. And didn't think of it being obese that could be a factor in it. I just felt like I wasn't one of those people chosen ones to be a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the surgery in 2001. Back then, it was really kind of hard to get your insurance to pay for it because it was solely considered as a cosmetic surgery. I had the actual gastric bypass.
Okay.
So I went through the procedures, going through the pre-ops and the pre-clearance of having the surgery. I had to travel to Houston because there was one doctor. I'm in San Antonio, by the way. I had to travel to Houston to be able to have it laparoscopically because the doctors here in San Antonio felt like I was too big to be able to do it, to have it the laparoscopic way.
Okay.
So and I didn't want to be cut on because the comeback was going to be harder. The healing process was going to be harder. So
Right.
I traveled to Houston. I got it done. The only complications that I had, and it was due to the sleep apnea that I was also diagnosed with, is that when they put me under, I actually coded. So I had to be incubated.
Oh.
And so that's one of the things that, if anything, like even till this day, if I have to have a surgery and have to be sedated, they automatically put me on a breather machine
Okay.
just for precautionary measures. So I went in, had the surgery in 2001. Like I said, I weighed in at 594 pounds.
Mhm.
I went in for my 1 month follow up. I had lost 60 pounds. Me looking at myself on a daily basis didn't see that. I
Mhm.
felt like, and this is where the psychological part of the surgery comes in. I felt like I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't losing it. The surgery wasn't working. However, when I went and weighed in, I had lost 60 pounds, and that wasn't doing nothing. It's just because the first 6 weeks you're on liquids. You're on
Mhm.
liquids until you start processing it to do to the soft foods and then to whatever. So when I became to the point of getting ready to eat solids, I
Mhm.
noticed that I couldn't digest pasta. I couldn't digest rice anymore. I couldn't digest meats. Even to this day, I still can't digest those things. So cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. However, I want those things. I crave those things. So I cook those things. I
Right.
just chew them up and spit them out. That's why I do not go out to eat on anybody's dime, because I don't want to waste their money.
Yeah. And
So, go
that's
ahead.
that's a real thing, that you do want those things after the surgery. The surgery does not take the wants away for those from those things.
Yeah, it is. So I had the surgery, and a year later, after the surgery, is getting personal. It was okay. I was okay with it, and I
Mhm.
had many benefits from that. I went from morbid obese to obese, and then I eventually ended up being malnourished. I got down to like 155 pounds. However, I was malnourished because I wasn't getting all the nutrients that I needed to get. And 155 of those pounds, majority of it was excess skin. So my excess skin removal had to be delayed because I needed to gain weight in order to do that. So in the process of trying to gain the weight, a year later of having the surgery, I was in a car accident and my back got broken. So I couldn't walk. I wasn't walking. I ended up in the hospital for 3.5 months, a coma for 3.5 weeks, because I coded 3 or 4 times on the way to the hospital.
Mhm.
So I had to learn how to walk again. However, the doctor stated that if I hadn't have lost the amount of weight that I had, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. So that is one of the benefits, that if I had to get that surgery again, most definitely I would.
Right.
Most definitely I would. And and then 2007 came, and I had my baby that 8 different doctors told me that I wasn't going to ever even have. And her name is My Joy, because she is definitely my joy.
That's beautiful.
However, before I had her, and before graduating, I graduated June 10th of 1991.
Mhm.
June no, I graduated June 6th of 1991, and June 10th, my best friend had a daughter. And long story short, I was only supposed to be the godmother. However, God put it in his plans for me to become her mother. Her biological mother fell to drugs, and I didn't want to see her in the system, so I adopted her.
Wow.
So I do have two girls. However, I just have one that's biologically mine, and her name is My Joy. And she's here. Of course, she was premature. She was underweight. She wasn't growing. I was seven and a half months pregnant with her, and she only weighed a pound and a half or so. And that's because I wasn't able to get the food in. I wasn't able to keep anything down. So what I had to do was I had to go into the hospital every week and get intravenously fed in order for her to grow.
Oh
So
wow.
I did what I had to do because they actually told me that if you don't gain the weight, she is not going to make it. My thing was in my mind, well, what did I have the surgery for? I don't want to be fat. But at the end of the day, I desired to have my daughter. So if I had to be fat the rest of my life, then so be it. So after, everything was said and done, she's here. One of her lungs collapsed, even, during me giving birth to her. She was
Mhm.
in NICU for a little bit, but she's doing fine. Her lungs are well because trust me, she can holler right now. But her lungs is well. But she's just the highlight of my life. So when I gained that, when I went through I went through a stage of depression
Mhm.
when I had to learn how to walk again. And at during the time of me learning how to walk again, my mother was dealing with the last stages of pancreatic cancer.
Mm.
So it was just her and I, and she was nursing me back to health while in the other room praying to God to give her strength to make sure that I was okay. So I fell into a deep depression because in my mind I knew that I can walk, but physically I couldn't get up and do it. And knowing that my mom was dealing with the last stages of cancer, I felt like I was a burden on her. So depression sunk in. And I didn't do anything else about my weight at that point. And I still suffer from depression at this moment. And so now it's like now I decided like you gotta do what you gotta do because
Mhm.
you now have My Joy. You gotta be around to see her make it
Right.
in life and succeed in life. And if you can't do that if you don't take care of yourself. So I decided to take the shot, the Sigma 2 shot. What that did was for me, it was hell, hell for me for the side effects. I just can't tell you enough. It was just hell, but I'm still going through it and I deal with it because it helps me. The first month that I took it, I lost 30 pounds. What it did is it reactivated my gastric bypass.
Okay.
However, I can't lose too much. Right now I'm at 375, but I can't lose too much because I still have the excess skin that needs to be removed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So that's my point. Like,
when you got down and you was malnourished, how hard was it for you to gain weight and what did they recommend you to do? Because I mean, I know from having the surgery, I mean, I had the sleeve, but from them shrinking your stomach, it's hard to eat. Like you start that pain comes, everything feel like it's stuck.
right. So in order for me to gain weight, I literally had to go into the hospital, check into the hospital, and it's like getting iron infusions. So it was
Oh,
like a 4 hour setting where they would intravenously feed me in order for me to gain the nutrients that I was lacking from taking in myself.
wow. How did you do with taking your vitamins? Were you taking the vitamins every day?
Nope, still don't do well with those either because I'm not a pill taker. I
Mhm.
don't like taking medication, and the reason being is because due to the high blood pressure that I had. Me and my mom had high blood pressure at the same time, and she was taking the same medication that I was taking. However, I didn't have no more, and I took one of hers. Well, her milligrams were higher than mine, and when I took her medication, it drew all the potassium out of my body, and I became incoherent to where I was actually scared of my mother, and that just threw me into a deeper depression because how can I be scared of my mother that's taking care of me, you
Mhm.
know? But what it was is that I took her medication, which is the same name. However, it was a different dosage, and it took all the potassium out of my body that made me become incoherent. So at that point, I was like, I don't want to take any type of medication ever again. I don't even care if it's my name on the pill bottle. I don't want to take it. However, I do. I got tons of medications that I need to take, and I try to take them, but I'm
Mhm.
not consistent with it.
Yeah. Consistency, it gets hard with the medicine. I know for myself, like I don't take my vitamins every day. I have to get better with it, but I mean, sometimes a week or two go by and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't take my medicine. So
Yeah,
it's definitely something that you got to try to, stay consistent with, and it's hard to do.
it is. It is.
So with your excess skin now, do you have any plans to get it cut off at some point?
Yes, once I get down to, I got the 700, the 75 pounds that I need to get off
Okay.
because I still have close to 100 pounds or more of excess skin. And once that's removed, then I will be at my ideal body weight, quote unquote, what they say ideal.
Mm,
Um, and I can't lose too much because then if they take that off, then again I'll fall back into the malnourished category, and I don't want to do that.
okay. So how are your eating habits now? Are you still doing like the portion sizes? Do you still weigh your food? Are you eating your 3 to 5 meals a day?
Sharice, this is the thing. Even being a big girl, you would think, oh, she just eat, eat, eat. I never was a heavy eater. It's
Mhm.
just that I ate the wrong things at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That was me, always snacking, especially because back in the day, I was a heavy weed smoker, so I had the munchies. I wasn't eating healthy. I was just on the go eating snacks.
You heard CJ?
God damn.
I was ahead, so I was just eating the wrong things, and it was at the wrong time. It was at the 10 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. Just eating the wrong things. Now, I can go all day without eating.
Hmm.
However, I do take the protein shakes, which fill me up instantly. And I'm supposed to at least have, I think the doctor told me like 100 grams of protein a day. Sharice, I drink one protein shake a day, and that's pretty much it because that carries me over. So my eating habits really they still suck because I don't really consume what I need to consume.
Yeah. It's Hi, Miss Wanda. It it's hard. It's really, really hard to stick to what they want you to do. Um,
Yeah.
and I know I'm only 6 months out and you're years out. So to know that this just is possibly not going to get better. And I've heard it from a lot of people in the support groups and stuff that I'm in. People say that they're 20 years out and they still can't eat but
Of
so much.
course. Yeah.
So
Yeah. You can't.
it's a
You
lot. I
can't.
mean,
So, and you don't get the nutrients because you don't eat that much. That's the whole point of the vitamins, which
mm,
I don't, I try not to do. If I could get the liquid vitamins, but they so nasty, so I'm just like, look, I'm gonna try my best. I try my best every now and then, but it's just something that you're gonna go through for the rest of your life of lacking nutrients that you need. And we have to supplement with the vitamins.
right. Have you tried the melts, the one that you could put under your tongue?
No,
So
I haven't tried that.
I tried that. They have it for the calcium, but they don't have it for the multivitamin. So I'll get those, and sometimes I'll put those under my tongue. And it has a hint of a like a sweet taste to it. So sometimes, because I'm starting to have some cravings already. Sometimes I just need something sweet. So I may go grab my vitamin and I'll put it under my tongue. But that's like when I really remember to take it if I'm getting some a sweet tooth or whatever.
Yeah. And that's the thing with me because, like I said, I've always been a junk food eater, and I crave sweetness all the time. However, that's where my protein snacks come in. The ones that I sent you and the little different stuff. I picked up the line of Atkins, the Atkins line,
Hmm.
and they have good snacks in there that you can tolerate. And so I pick them up. So I get my chips, I get my little brownies, I get my, my chocolate when I want my chocolate. I'm not really a chocolate eater, but I have to crave it. So I'm going to have it on standby just in case. So, that's how I get my kicks in. As far as just going out and just overboard doing something that I'm not supposed to do, that's something that I don't do. And I'm happy because my daughter is she's a health like pretty much a health fanatic right now. And
Mm-hmm.
so we pretty much on the same diet as far as protein goes and stuff like that, and having shakes and stuff like that, because those are the things that she likes to do. So it makes it easy when the whole household is on the same diet. Now I gotta let you know, because I remember in one of your social deals you stated that you needed to get Diva and CJ on the same page with you. That ain't how that go, ma'am. That
I
ain't
know.
how they go. We have a goal, not them. We have a goal. Now, if sometimes they sit down and say, "Hey, we're gonna enjoy this meal with you," then so be it. But it ain't how I go to change the whole lifestyle for the whole house. We just have to stay. We have to stay. So we have to be self-disciplined
Yes.
when it comes to that, because even when you go out, you're gonna eat different from other people, so you're not gonna expect them to eat what you eat.
Right.
So
Right.
we have it's a whole lot of self-discipline in the situation of what it is. And let me tell you too, get out of the habit of counting calories. You're gonna be crazy. You ain't gonna eat nothing trying to count calories. Eat what you're gonna eat, because you only can eat so much anyway. You're not gonna be able to go overboard, because if you do, trust me, honey, you're gonna be sick as a dog.
Oh yes. And
Yeah.
my dietitian said the same thing to me too. She was like, "Stop trying to count the calories. Just make sure that you are hitting your protein and you will
Yeah.
be okay." And she was like, "It's bad enough that I already wasn't a heavy eater. It was just my choices that I ate." She was like, "It's
You're right.
easy to eat, so stop." And I was like, "Okay." But I just was so like, now it's like I have this thing. I'm so scared to gain weight. I was weighing myself every single morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the
Stop
morning.
it.
I was weighing
Don't do
myself.
that, because you're gonna be crazy. You are gonna be crazy, because your weight, you're gonna see it's gonna fluctuate. And it's only gonna be maybe 1 or 2 pounds, but that 1 or 2 pound gain is devastation to us, because we had the surgery to lose, not to gain. So
Right.
you cannot do that to yourself. That part is why you had to have the psychological evaluation before having the surgery. Because this weight journey, weight loss journey, doing the bariatric process, it is heavy on your psychological mind. You have to stay focused. When I tell you to stay focused, you have to put those blinders on like they do with the horses when they get ready to race, so that they can only see forward. Stop getting on that scale, girl. Stop getting on it every day, because you are gonna be crazy. CJ
Yeah.
and Diva gonna pack up their stuff and get up out of there, honey, because they ain't gonna have time for all of that. What you doing? Because you gained a pound or a half a pound, they ain't trying to hear that.
I
You
know.
got to stay off of that, and you live with yourself. So it's going to be hard for you to see that you are actually doing it. But get in the habit of only getting your weight when you check in with your doctor.
See
Get in
that?
the habit of doing that.
I'm gonna try. Now I've just recently. It's gonna be a process. I just recently stopped doing it every day, and I'm finally catching that hang of the once a week type thing. Um, and then like I went to the
Do it
doctor.
once a month.
It's gonna take some time for me to get there, but I'm trying to come away from the scale. I just don't want to gain. I'm so afraid of gaining weight that sometimes I'll sit here and I'll just tell myself, no, you can't eat, and I'll just try to drink my 64 ounces of fluid. But then if I do that, then I'm not getting my protein.
And you're not getting the nutrients.
Right.
However, you need to understand too that weight gain is not always bad, because that weight gain, that 1 or 2 pounds that you may have gained, could have been gained in muscle mass. You lost the weight, but you gained, because you don't want to lose muscle mass. That's something
Right.
that you don't want to do. You don't want to lose muscle mass. So the 1 or 2 pounds that you may have gained is probably muscle mass and not fat.
Okay.
So that's what I'm telling you, is stay off that scale, because you're gonna go crazy. And the only way you're gonna know what you actually gain is when you go and get that measured out when you go into the doctor. So they'll measure, okay, you lost this much fat, but you gained this much muscle mass. Which you want to gain the muscle mass. Because if you lose your muscle mass, you're gonna be weak. You're not gonna be able to do nothing. You're not gonna have the strength.
Right.
So that 1 or 2 pounds, get it in the back of your mind. The 1 or 2 pounds, that's muscle mass. It's not fat. It's muscle mass.
Okay. Okay. I mean, all of this is it's just mental. I'm gonna get there, but
It
it's
is.
so
It
fresh
is.
in my mind. Hey, welcome in Coco Poo, Prince, JJ, Team Lena. Hey sis, welcome in everybody that's coming in. I'm sorry, I've been trying to type it in the chat and say hi as I'm seeing everybody come in. But yeah, so with your appointments, now that you are so many years out, how often do you have to check in with your surgeon or the nurse?
As far as the gastric bypass, I don't have to check in with that. I check in on 1 month basis with the shot.
Oh, okay.
And that's only because after that 1 month is over, the dosage goes up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I at my last appointment, I was doing every 3 months. And so now I jumped to 6 months. And then I'll do 1 year at the 6 months, and then I'll go to once a year.
Yeah. And it's gonna do it. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna see your weight loss is gonna start balancing off. It's gonna start dropping. You're not gonna lose as much. Do not get alarmed when that happens. What happened is that because you had the sleeve, they adjusted your stomach. They adjusted your stomach to cap off at a certain, once you get to a certain weight. So it kind of caps off. And the difference between the gastric bypass and the sleeve is that yours can be reversed and moved. Mine can't. My stomach was actually cut. They removed my large intestines, and I only have the small one. Now, a lot of people that I do know that had the sleeve and the banding, the gastric banding, they ended up 6 or 7 months later down the line going to have the actual back bypass,
Yeah, I've
because
a lot of people
they
say,
gained the weight. They gained the weight back,
mm,
because
wow.
the banding in the sleeve is stretchable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, the banding is pretty much like a rubber band. So at times when rubber gets old, it starts to disintegrate. It breaks. And that's what actually the banding does. However, you can break it yourself when you're not self-disciplined and you overeat, even when you have that full, because you still have food on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to eat because, no, I still got food on my plate. I'm gonna still eat that, knowing darn well that you are full, but
Mm,
because you still have food on your plate. That part is what I call gluttony. Because, girl, stop eating when your stomach says stop, because
exactly.
you become sick. You become sick, and at the same time you're wasting the food because you got to bring it up in order to feel a relief. You got to
Right.
bring it up. So when even if you have food on your plate and you feel full, put it up and eat it the next day. Some stuff, me, I don't like reheated, so it is what it is. But like I say, my daughter will come along and be like, "Mama, give me some of that." Cool. It ain't wasted.
Right.
But
Exactly.
you have to, the self-discipline is the biggest part of it. Once you become firm in your self-discipline, the psychological part will start fading away,
Okay.
because you right now you letting the psychological part overpower everything else that you need to be focusing on.
Well, I can't wait for that part to come because I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired of stressing
it,
over everything.
girl, let me tell you, it's crazy. It's crazy. So you have to you got to balance it out. And I tell you, it's a different lifestyle. It's really different, and it feels like you are in a different world from everybody. But just know that you're not the only one that's going through it.
That part. That's so true. Hey, Sister Sonia. That's so true. So once you had your bypass and you lost the weight, did you just get pregnant right away?
No, I had the bypass in '01, and I got pregnant in '06.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. hmm And but at the end of the day, I didn't try anymore. After the 8, doctor said you're not going to be able to have any. I I was defeated at that point. I just didn't try anymore. So she actually came as a surprise to me because I wouldn't. I the only reason how I felt like I was pregnant or knew that I was pregnant, had any thought in my mind that I was pregnant, is because I just started feeling a certain way. And then her dad was sleeping more. He took on all everything, the sickness and everything. I didn't have none of that. And I couldn't tell be by the my menstrual cycle because being so heavy and obese, my menstrual cycle was always off track. So I didn't know. So and matter of fact, one of his friends was like, "You pregnant?" And I'm like, "What?" They was like, "You pregnant?" They was like, "This boy is sick every day. All he do is sleep, this, that, and the other." So I went to the store, got a pregnancy test. It came back positive. I went about 5 more pregnancy tests, took all of them. They was all positive, and then it still did not fit right with me because in the back of my head, the mental part was the doctor saying that I would never have any children. And so what I did is I went in and actually took a blood test. That's when I realized, that's when I was like, okay, you pregnant.
Wow. Got your miracle, baby. Hola, sissy
Yeah.
poo. So
Yeah.
if you knew someone who was considering weight loss, but they didn't believe that it would truly benefit them or it would work for them, what advice would you give to somebody? And would you suggest that they go through and get the weight loss surgery?
I would definitely suggest anybody that is going through being obese, morbid obese, and want to live a little longer on this earth, yes, by all means, go have it. Now, I can give them all the benefits for me, but everybody is different. So I can only encourage them for, okay, before I had the surgery, this is what I was dealing with. Now I'm no longer deal with that. So I can only give them that into hopes to talking them into going, but it only takes one person to give them a negative thought. And
Yeah.
then it's kind of like it's psychological hits again. So they got to start all over to build up to say, do I really want this or not? Because 5 people told me, girl, go have it because it did this for me. It did this for me. But that one person said, girl, that ain't worth it. It ain't did this and it ain't did that. However, when speaking with someone, I always recommend the gastric bypass only because scientifically and you do the measures of the numbers, majority of the people that has had the sleeve and the banding has went back to get the extra gastric bypass, and it has actually been lifesavers for them. For me to have been in that car accident, if I was 594 pounds at the time that I was in that car accident when my back broken, baby, I would not be here talking to you today. I wouldn't. There's no way that I would have been able to do this. There's no way my mom would have been able to help me, assist me of trying to get up and transfer to the wheelchair, transfer to the restroom, transfer to take a shower, transfer from a chair to the wheelchair. She wouldn't have been able to do that,
Right.
and I would have just been sitting there, not being able to walk, not because I didn't have nobody to push me. But she was there. She was there. So and because I knew that I can walk and I knew that my mom was suffering, from the last stages of pancreatic cancer, I knew that I had to do what I had to do. So what I did, because she was always coming in and she would hear, I became so mute to the point of I didn't hear myself screaming and yelling from pain because of my back injury. So she would hear that and she would come and she would give me medication. She would hit the button, and because I was on a morphine pump, and it just put me to sleep.
Mm.
So there's no way that I was going to be able to learn how to walk, sleep. So what I did was I told her, I said, Mom, I know you don't want to hear me hollering. I know that gets to you, but you have to let me holler. You have to let me bear through this pain. I said, because the medication is not helping me be mobile. I have to do this through the pain. Even still through this day, because I didn't have back surgery. My dad would not let me have back surgery because he had had several back surgeries. And before he even passed away, they was talking about doing another one. And because it didn't help him. So he didn't want me to go through that. So right now I'm still walking around with a broke back.
Wow.
Yeah. So and I won't have it. I won't have it. I just have to be extra careful. I just have to, make sure that nothing is in my way if I fall. Because if I fall and I land the wrong way, it is a possibility that I can become paralyzed.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
But it's also a possibility that I can become paralyzed if I had the back surgery.
Yeah. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't type thing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So I tolerate the pain. It's not constant, but it happens, especially like with me catering and cooking large amounts of food and standing on my feet. Oh, when I say fire, fire at the end of the day when I'm done. But I have to keep going, because if I stop, that's it. I won't get paid because they food won't get done. Because once I sit down, that's it. I'm done for the day. Because it's like a car engine that you got to let warm up. That's how my body is. After I've overworked it and sit down and it start in the relaxing mode, it's just, it be on fire. But at the end of the day, I got to make sure that me and my baby eat. I got to
Mm.
make sure we have a roof over our head. So I do it, and I love to cook. I love to cook. The reason why I became a chef and went to school for that is because my mom fed the world. She fed the neighbors, the dogs, they cats, everything. She fed them. She fed her worst enemy. She would feed anybody. When she passed away, because she passed away 6 months after I started walking on my own without aid.
Mm.
So once she passed away, that took me into a deeper depression, because I felt like she used the last of her life nursing me back to health. But that's what a mom do, because now that I'm a mother biologically, I understand why she did what she did, because I would do the same thing for my child.
Right.
You know, but it took me into a depression. So the only way that I felt like I can have my mother living with me was it had to be through me and something that she loved to do, which was cooking. So I decided to go back to school and get my degree. So I'm a triple major in the hospitality field. So, and that's how I became of cooking.
That's amazing. For those, there are, I'm sure there are a lot of women out here in the world who have been told that they would never have children, or because it hasn't happened, they feel like it's just not a possibility. What encouraging words would you share with women going through that?
The only encouraging words that I can say is God has plans for everyone. Doctors are only man. They can tell you what they want to tell you because that's what they learned in school. However, if God desired for you to have a child, you will have one. You just got to do what you got to do. You got to figure out what is the root of me not being able to have a child. Those 8 doctors that told me that I would never have a child never told me the reason why I would never have a child. But it still devastated me to where I didn't want to have. I mean, I didn't want to have one. I just stopped trying to have one. But you can't listen to men all the time. They went to school, yeah, but who made that? Who said that that was right? Who? Let's just be real. Who said 2 + 2 = 4? Who said that?
Right.
So you got to really think about it. Yes, it's 2 + 2 = 4 because that's what we learned. But who actually came up with that equation and
Right.
that answer to make it a true statement? It's just like what is a normal way of life? What is that? What is normal? You have to literally think about that. What is normal? Because what's normal to you is not normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do what's normal for you and what's best for you, and just keep God first, and know that if it's God's desire and your desire, it'll happen.
Absolutely. That's true. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Sonia said, "That's me, sister. You know, I always say I'm too old now." Sonia, you know, I always tell you your ass is not too old. It's people out here older than you have kids. So go ahead and let my brother hang you upside down and do what you need to do. Thank you. Um, Doctor said I wouldn't be here at 7 weeks old. Still here. Hello, somebody. That comment came from Grateful. Yes, hello, somebody. Grateful. We are glad that you were here. Let's see. Latoya Williams said, "Keep going in the most safest way, beautiful." Sonia said, "Latrice, you sound like me working through the pain, just stubborn." Sonia is very, very fucking stubborn. Excuse my language. Sonia be in a lot of pain, and that mofo don't know how to sit the hell down, even when the doctors tell her to sit down. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's me too. That's me too.
yeah. Congratulations, my satin boo. Satin is down 90 pounds on her own. She is sticking to her diet.
Yay! Yep,
Let's
sticking to
see.
a diet is hard. It's hard, but like I say, it's always self-discipline. If you can be self-disciplined, everything else will fall into place.
It will.
Everything else will fall into place because you can hear all kinds of stories from any and everybody. But what is for you is for you. I tell that to everybody. That's even like in a relationship situation. I don't care how many years you've been married. You can only tell me, hey, this works for me and CJ.
Mhm.
However, I would never come home and tell my husband, you know what, we're gonna do this because this worked for Sharice and CJ. Because it
Yep.
may not work for us. That's just like somebody, one you saying, girl, I went out there and tried for the NFL and they made it. I know my big ass can't go out there and run no damn yard. So why would I go out there and try for the NFL? Because you made it. That's for
Right.
you. It's not for
Right.
me. You know, you just got to do what's for you, not for nobody else. And
That's
and
true.
that's the way of the world today. The way of the world, and I'm not saying everybody, but majority of the world look at, this is what's going on right now. So
Mhm.
this is what I'm going to do. What's going on right now is not for you. It's not for you. So just sit back and do what you've been doing. You can't follow a trend because everybody ain't trendsetters.
Hello.
So you got to be yourself. You got to be true to yourself and do not follow anybody. Follow yourself. Follow your first mind.
Yep. That is
That's just like me trying to take 375 pounds and put them in some skinny jeans to my friend that is 120 pounds. What the hell? Because Lane Brown know damn well they didn't have no business in bidding skinny jeans for these overweight ass people. But hey, to each his own.
yeah. That is
To
so
each
true.
his own.
It's so true. Um, does anybody have any questions for Latrice in her journey that she's gone through or is still going through? And you said diet. One thing that has helped me, and it's all mental, I know, but when I would say diet, I didn't stick to it. I would be like, "Oh, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that," and I would put
Mhm.
salad with diet. Like a diet to me meant I had to eat salad all the time. But now that I'm on this life change journey. It seems like I'm more willing to try things. Like T had ordered me the kava. I would have never freaking ate that stuff that was in that bowl. But I am in love with some hummus. I've been buying hummus ever since.
Yeah. You will never know. My thing is that I went vegan for 2 years. And my sister and them, they was like, girl, you crazy, you this, that, and you other. I say, honey, I get the ribs that y'all eat. I get the chicken that y'all eat. And they was like, how if you're vegan? So I cooked them up a batch. And they was like, I didn't tell them. I was like, here, I made y'all some wings. I made y'all some ribs and stuff like that. And they eating that stuff and they was talking about how good it was. As soon as they got through eating, plates was clean. I said, yeah, because that was vegan, that was all a vegan dish. That chicken was nothing but cauliflower. Y'all just ate a fried cauliflower that tastes like chicken. The
Hmm.
ribs was nothing but tofu that y'all thought was ribs. Y'all thought was boneless ribs, but it was tofu. So that's the perks that I have of being a chef and being in the culinary field, is that I can make anything turn into what I want it to be without having to deal with the calories and all the extra that comes in of what you call a cheat meal.
Right. So for all y'all that's in here, if y'all plan to come to me and CJ's meet and greet, Latrice will be cooking the food. It's
I
already
sure will, because I'm definitely coming. I sure will.
set and X, how is my protein intake? My protein intake is, I still need to work on it setting, but it's getting a lot better than what it was. I promise. Sonia says she's down 14 pounds, but she's discouraged because she feel like she should be down more. Sister, I'm going to
Nope.
tell you. I told you it's
Do
going.
not do that, Sonia. Do not do that, because just like I told Sharice, because you feel like you should be down more, those 14 pounds is fat loss, not muscle mass. So your weight is gonna fluctuate up and down only because you're gaining muscle mass, not because you're gaining fat. It's because you're gaining muscle mass. And the only way to determine that you're gaining muscle mass and still losing the fat is you're going to have to go get measured by your doctor so they can tell you, okay, you're doing good. You're losing the fat. However, you are gaining the muscle mass, and that's what you want. You don't want to lose the muscle mass.
Mm-hmm. Sassy said, I lost 25 pounds in 22 and kept it off. I work out every day, but everyone can't lose weight, and sometimes getting help is the answer. I can't do diet. That's
Indeed, Sassy. Yes. Ooh, child, let me tell you, because my doctor tell me all the time, I need you to walk at least 30 minutes or do this. And I say, child, I'm not one of those people. I've never been one of those active person, only when I'm working. And I say, he said, well, do you even try to walk? I say, when I go grocery shopping for a catering gig, if you gonna consider me walking in Sam's and Costco's and picking up all them heavy boxes, that's my exercise. But to go do that every day, no. He said, have you ever thought about running? I said, yeah, only in my mind. Only in my mind. I'm just not going to do it. Now, at home, inside, there's a lot of inside sit down exercises that you can do to still maintain and lose your weight. You don't have to go out there and go to the gym and get all sweaty and stinky. You can do all of that stuff in the process of your home. What I did do is I bought the in Xfinity hoop,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a hoop that it has the weight on there, and
Yep.
you do that 30 minutes a day. That's equivalent to a 2 mile run. Honey, that's the only way they're going to get a 2 mile run out of me, is me hooping for 30 minutes with that hula hoop on.
I get it. I definitely get it. I can't get myself motivated to go to the gym. I don't like going to the gym
Yeah,
because
I'm not that.
too many people. But I have the
Yeah,
treadmill at home. I have the squat machine, and I have the vibration plate. The thing with me
yeah,
is, I love to walk, but anything that I do that makes my heart rate go, that sound in my ear goes crazy. So it's like I can work out, but I don't want to work out because the sound drives me crazy. So I'm trying to get this situated so that I can start working out, but I'm not going to the gym. I'll be working out at home.
yeah. I'm not going to go to the gym because that's one of the things, like, that I've always been self-conscious of. Even when going to school, I didn't want to do physical education because I was overweight. I didn't want to do that. Like, I'm outgoing, I'm crazy and everything, but when it comes to the physical part of it, child, I ain't got time to do that when I can do this at home. So I rather do it at home, and then I ain't gonna tell you that I do it every day, because I don't. Now I do it when I want to do it, but I'm still benefiting from it.
Right.
If that makes sense, I'm still benefiting from it. But it, like, again, I'm gonna keep reiterating to you, self-discipline. That's all it is, self-discipline. Like, now, because what made me get up and say, hey, you got to do something, you got to get up off the depression kick, and you got to do this, you got to do that, because my Joy is getting ready to graduate, and you got to be there to see her do that. So that's what made me go and start taking the weight loss shot. So when my baby will be graduating, she graduates college before she graduates high school. So, because she's in a dual program. So she graduates May the 21st from college, and then June the 4th or the 3rd, whatever that Wednesday is, for high school, and then she heads on to the university.
I know you are so proud of your baby.
I am proud of her. Like, again, like we was talking earlier, I don't want to see her go. I mean, she's, like I said, she's been accepted for 5 different colleges that she applied for. She applied for like 9 or 10, and 3 of them are in Hawaii. She's already been accepted to 2 in Hawaii, and the number one pick was the one that she has been accepted to in Hawaii. And I'm kind of like, I don't know, the motherhood is kicking in. Like, what if something happened and I can't get to my baby quick like that? But at
Right.
the end of the day, I know God, and I know what I taught her. I know how I raised her. So with that being said, I just know that when I pray, I just have to pray a little harder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are at our hour. This was a great conversation. I appreciate you sharing your story with us. It definitely motivates me
Yes,
to keep going, and I'm thankful for you. Thank you for my snacks, because I have been on Atkins
of
ever
course.
since.
Of course,
I
yes. I had to send you those just so you can open it up. And I was like, she's so picky, but she's gonna have to open up her tongue palate to things, because if you don't, you won't never know. You can't just look at something and say you don't eat that because you don't like the way it looks. Looks can be deceiving until you taste it. That's why you eating hummus right now.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what they say about coochie.
So you just gotta try. You just gotta try.
I'm gonna slap this man. I'm going. We went this whole 60 minutes, and here he go the last 2 minutes talking about coochie. Come play Vicky's prayer, please. As y'all, I would thank y'all for being here with us tonight. Thank y'all for being engaged in a conversation. We hope that you were able to take something with you. Everybody stay motivated on this healthy life journey. And if you have to consider weight loss, it is a great thing. I'm doing great. Latrice is doing great.
It is a great thing, and I can tell you from my experience doing all the health issues that I had prior to the weight loss, they have diminished. Like I tell you all the time, even when we're speaking on Messenger, you go do this. Tell the doctor to do this. Tell the doctor to do that, because
Right.
those migraines that I used to have prior to the surgery, I don't have them anymore. None of that happened. The diabetes, I have none of that. All of that went away. So you can get better. You just have to, don't let the doctors tell you what they learned in school. You tell the doctors what your body is doing. The doctors only can give you the educational of what they learned. However, they don't know your body. They don't know what you're going through, and they don't know your symptoms until you tell them.
Right. That's so true. Toya, I seen what you said, and that's not true. I will not eat anything just because it's from Walmart. So be quiet and take your butt to the corner, fam. We're gonna go ahead and play Vicky's prayer so we can get out of here. Before we play Vicky's prayer,
Yes.
I just want y'all to keep Tony in your prayers. If you're on Facebook, you see that my sister was in a car accident. Her and Maddie are okay, but please keep them in your prayers. Also, keep Leonica in your prayers. If you would like to know what's going on or how you may help her, you may just go to her YouTube page. Leonica is the YouTube page name. But yeah, bow your heads, please. You ready?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the time we've shared together today. We are grateful for the insights and connections we've made through this series. As we close, we ask for your continued guidance and blessings on all those who participate in our community. May your wisdom and love inspire us to grow, learn, and support one another. Keep us safe and bring us back together in the spirit of fellowship and understanding. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. I shouldn't have held my head down because now my headache is back. All right, y'all.
Mhm.
Y'all have a great night. Oh, stay with my head. Make sure you tell somebody that you love them because tomorrow is not promised. And we will see y'all next week with another episode.
Right, y'all. Good. Have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.